Let's be honest, sometimes life just throws punches, and finding a reason to smile can feel like a genuine battle. If you're nodding along, this video is especially for you. We've handpicked Christian films that don't just skim the surface but dive deep into the heart of faith, courage, and God's amazing grace. Think of them as cinematic fuel for your spirit, ready to lift you out of that slump. Prepare to be moved, encouraged, and reminded that you're stronger than you think, especially with God by your side. Ready? Here's the first movie for you. Number 1. War Room. War Room introduces us to Tony and Elizabeth Jordan. Outwardly, they seem to have it all. Good careers, a lovely daughter, a beautiful home. But behind closed doors, their marriage is crumbling, filled with bitterness and strife, deeply affecting their daughter. Elizabeth feels like she's at the end of her rope. Everything shifts when Elizabeth meets Miss Clara, an older, wise woman whose home she's trying to sell. Miss Clara, full of spunk and deep faith, senses Elizabeth's pain. She doesn't just offer sympathy, she shows Elizabeth her war room, a closet dedicated to powerful, strategic prayer. Miss Clara challenges Elizabeth to fight for her family, not against her husband, but against the true enemy, through prayer. Hesitantly at first, Elizabeth starts her own prayer journey. As she grows in her faith, we see tangible shifts. When Tony faces a major personal and professional crisis, it's Elizabeth's newfound strength and grace, rooted in her prayer life, that begins to pave the way for healing. The film beautifully navigates their path towards forgiveness and restoration. What makes War Room so encouraging? Well, its most powerful encouragement comes from its vibrant depiction of prayer as an active, life-changing force. The film doesn't just tell you to pray, it shows you how dedicating specific time and space to communicate with God can bring about incredible transformation in the toughest circumstances. Miss Clara's guidance makes this so practical and inspiring. And then, there's the profound hope found in restoration and forgiveness. Watching the Jordan family, who are so clearly broken, begin to heal and rebuild their lives is incredibly uplifting. It's a reminder that even when things seem hopeless, especially in relationships, stepping out in faith and fighting the right battles, God's way can lead to beautiful, new beginnings. It leaves you feeling that with God, no situation is beyond repair. If you need a film to truly inspire your prayer life and show you the power of faith in action, War Room is a must-see. Number 2. Facing the Giants. If you feel overwhelmed, Facing the Giants will touch you for sure. There's a coach, Grant Taylor, and his life is spiraling. 6 losing football seasons at Shiloh Christian Academy, a key player gone, fathers plotting his dismissal, a failing car, a smelly house, and his infertility preventing children with his wife. At his lowest, Grant turns to intense prayer and scripture. Inspired by his old coach, he adopts a new philosophy: praise God, regardless of outcome, challenging his players to believe they can win under God's guidance. This sparks a revival. The Eagles miraculously win their remaining games, reaching the state playoffs. Grant's personal life also transforms. A raise, the house odor fixed, a new truck. After a forfeit win in their playoff opener, they advance to face the formidable 3-time champion Richland Giants in the state final. Amidst this, Brooke discovers she's pregnant. The championship game is a nail-biter, ultimately leading to a seemingly impossible 51-yard field goal attempt. David Childers makes the kick, securing an astonishing victory. Grant reminds his team nothing is impossible with God. 2 years later, they have a son, another child coming, and the Eagles have won a second state title. Coach Taylor's journey from rock bottom, job loss, infertility, team failure, to profound victory is incredibly inspiring. It powerfully shows his resolve to give God everything I've got and leave the results to Him. The movie truly encourages you to keep trying and to do your best right where you are. That's a big lesson Coach Grant learns. Like one reviewer perfectly said, it makes you believe nothing is impossible and inspires you to tackle your own giants, no matter how big and strong they seem to be. Number 3. Fireproof. This 2008 Christian drama, a surprise box office hit, stars Kirk Cameron as Caleb Holt, a respected fire captain whose motto is, "Never leave your partner behind." Yet, at home, his marriage to Catherine, a hospital administrator played by Aaron Bethea, is burning down. They fight constantly. Caleb is accused of selfishness, prioritizing a boat over her mother's medical needs, and his internet pornography use drives a wedge between them. Catherine, feeling unloved, wants a divorce, and an enraged Caleb agrees. But Caleb's father intervenes and urges him to try the Love Dare, a 40-day challenge to radically alter how he treats Catherine. Caleb reluctantly begins, initially just going through motions. Meanwhile, Catherine finds herself drawn to the attentions of a charming doctor at her hospital. As Caleb persists, even finding a profound personal faith in Jesus Christ along the way, Catherine remains distant. He even destroys his own computer to battle his addictions. Despite his efforts, she serves him divorce papers. The journey is heart-wrenching, with Caleb facing rejection even after an on-the-job injury lands him in Catherine's hospital. But as secrets unravel, including who truly paid for her mother's medical care and the doctor's own hidden life, the path to healing slowly opens, and it culminates in a powerful and emotional reconciliation. It's about the incredible transformation possible only when one person commits to change, even if the other isn't ready yet. Many viewers find deep encouragement in Caleb's imperfect but persistent journey, fueled by the Love Dare and his growing faith. The movie beautifully portrays sacrificial love, the hard work marriage demands, and the profound impact of forgiveness. It illustrates how faith in Jesus Christ can be the bedrock for rebuilding, a stirring presentation of God's grace and hope. Number 4. God's Not Dead. Ever felt your faith put to the ultimate test? That's exactly where college freshman Josh Wheaton finds himself in the powerful film, God's Not Dead. Arriving on campus, Josh is warned against a philosophy class taught by the formidable Professor Radisson, an atheist determined to crush his students' faith. But, needing the class, Josh enrolls, only to face an immediate ultimatum: sign a pledge stating, "God is dead," or fail. Josh, a devout Christian, refuses. This courageous act of defiance sets the stage for an electrifying series of debates. Professor Radisson challenges Josh to defend his belief before the entire class, with his academic future and dreams of law school hanging in the balance. Even his fiancée pressures him to relent, but Josh stands firm. Woven into this central drama are the moving stories of others grappling with their own spiritual journeys. A young Muslim woman secretly embracing Christ and facing her father's fury. A pastor reigniting his passion for his calling. A cynical reporter whose world is upended by a crisis. And even Professor Radisson's Christian girlfriend dealing with a difficult relationship. The film brings these diverse narratives together and shows us how they all end up in the same place. With sharp, erudite dialogue and excellent performances, especially the intense confrontations between Shane Harper as Josh and Kevin Sorbo as Radisson, the classroom becomes a battleground of ideas. Josh's unwavering commitment to defending his faith, even when it costs him dearly, is incredibly inspiring. The film champions the idea that one voice, rooted in conviction, can indeed make a profound difference. It's a story that reassures us that faith can not only withstand intellectual scrutiny, but can also be a powerful force for change in the lives of those around us. You won't just be entertained, you will be enlightened and inspired. Watch it and you will find a renewed sense of hope and a powerful affirmation that, indeed, God's not dead. Number 5. Do you believe? From the creators of God's Not Dead comes a movie, Do You Believe? Imagine a man shouldering a life-sized cross through city streets confronting Pastor Matthew with a soul-stirring question, do you believe? This arresting encounter, where the street preacher Malachi fearlessly faces down gang members, ignites the film. Pastor Matthew, profoundly convicted by Malachi's spiritual fortitude, takes this challenge to his congregation and urges them to put their faith into tangible action. His own journey begins as he decides to help Maggie, a pregnant homeless teen he spots rummaging in a dumpster. From there, the film masterfully interweaves the lives of 12 distinct individuals, each facing their own genuine everyday crisis. We meet JD and Terry, a couple long shrouded in grief, who find new purpose helping Samantha, a homeless mother, and her daughter Lily. Their lives are also touched by Joe, the humble church janitor, who, despite his own poverty and debilitating illness, sacrificially offers hospitality. Meanwhile, EMT Bobby faces a daunting lawsuit for sharing his faith with a dying man, a courageous choice that strains his marriage. We also follow Carlos, a veteran with PTSD who forms a life-saving bond with Lacey, a despairing young woman. These stories, featuring recognizable talents like Mira Sorvino and Sean Astin, unravel and intensify, their threads pulling closer. You might find yourself on the edge of your seat as their paths cross in unexpected ways, all building towards a dramatic, life-altering convergence that will test their active faith. With impressive cinematic quality and powerful performances, the 90-minute runtime quickly flies by. It's a powerful echo of James 2:17. Faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. You'll be deeply moved by watching these 12 souls in their crises, how they choose to embody their beliefs through incredible sacrifice, dedicated service, and courage. The film ignites a spark and challenges you with the question, what are you doing with your belief? As Pastor Matthew says in the film, belief takes you to your knees, then raises you to your feet, and transforms lives with profound, unshakable hope. Number 6. I Still Believe. Get ready for a story that will tug at your heartstrings and stir your soul. Ever wondered how far love can go when tested by life's fiercest storms? I Still Believe plunges you into the poignant true story of Christian singer Jeremy Camp. The film opens with young Jeremy, guitar in hand, a cherished gift from his pastor father, leaving for college in California and hoping to connect with his music idol, Jean-Luc. He does, and at a concert, Jeremy meets the captivating Melissa. A tender romance blossoms despite Melissa's prior connection to Jean-Luc, who is furious upon discovering their bond. As Jeremy's music career, aided by Jean-Luc, begins to soar, his world is shattered. Melissa is diagnosed with stage 3 cancer. Jeremy's commitment is unwavering. Ignoring his father's concerns, he proposes, they marry, and his concerts, where KJ Apa delivers his own heartfelt vocals, become powerful calls for prayer for Melissa. The film, beautifully shot and well acted, notably by Britt Robertson as Melissa, portrays their emotional roller coaster, a miraculous temporary remission followed by the cancer's devastating return. We witness Melissa's painful struggle and Jeremy's agonizing crisis of faith, where he even gets angry at God. His father offers profound wisdom. He reminds him that God's ways are not ours. After Melissa's passing, she leaves a note affirming that suffering strengthens faith. Shattered, Jeremy eventually channels his renewed belief into the iconic song titled, I Still Believe. The movie is about clinging to hope when darkness seems absolute. It portrays Melissa's conviction that her suffering could inspire others, that it refines faith, not destroys it. Jeremy's journey from questioning God to reaffirming his belief, even without understanding God's full plan, is deeply moving. It highlights how sacrificial love endures, and that even in profound pain, one can find strength to declare, I still believe. Number 7. Mully. Our next film is an incredible documentary that asks, what happens when one person courageously answers God's call with a resounding, yes, use me? Mully transports us to Kenya. It introduces Charles Mully, a man whose early life was etched with unimaginable hardship. Abandoned by his parents at just 6 years old, he spent a decade begging on the streets, so lost in despair he nearly gave up. But a spark of divine intervention led him to faith and, remarkably, to a job. From these desolate beginnings, Charles's journey is nothing short of miraculous. He rises through diligence and God's favor to become a millionaire, blessed with a thriving business empire and a loving family. Then, one encounter with street children shatters his comfortable world. His heart breaks, and in a moment of profound surrender, Charles Mully makes a life-altering decision: to sell everything he owns and dedicate his life to caring for Kenya's orphan children. This powerful film, told beautifully through the eyes of Mully and his family, doesn't shy away from the immense challenges they faced. From his own children's initial reluctance to dwindling resources and even opposition from their church, the path was fraught with difficulty. The documentary masterfully blends moments of pure joy with tasteful, yet stark depictions of the harsh realities of street life, immersing you completely in this awe-inspiring true story of radical faith in action. What makes Mully so profoundly encouraging is its breathtaking display of faith and God's extraordinary provision. Witnessing one man's obedience blossom into a haven for over 12,000 children is truly awe-inspiring. The film challenges you to consider what God might be asking of your life, inspiring a deeper desire to listen for His voice and step out in faith, trusting He will provide. Charles Mully's journey will fill you with hope and remind you that one person, fully surrendered to God, can indeed change the world. Number 8. The Song. Ever felt the weight of past mistakes or the pull of temptation? The Song explores these struggles through Jed King, a musician grappling with his famous father's legacy and the pitfalls of success. Jed's journey begins with a love song for Rose, the song, which launches him to stardom. But fame's allure and a seductive touring partner, Shelby, test his marriage vows and commitment to Rose. Inspired by the biblical Song of Solomon and King Solomon's life, the film poignantly examines chasing worldly desires and the enduring power of love, faith, and redemption. Jed's rise mirrors his father's, David King, a country icon whose life was marred by infidelity. The film subtly parallels Jed's temptations with his father's past. It emphasizes the cyclical nature of sin. As Jed walks the intoxicating world of music and temptation, his life spirals into adultery, drug abuse, and emotional turmoil. He faces a choice: continue down a destructive path or return to the values and love he once cherished. His internal struggle unfolds against catchy Mumford and Son-style folk tunes and picturesque rural Kentucky scenery. Despite soapy moments, Jed's inner conflict and Rose's love create a compelling narrative. The film's occasionally over-the-top drama, like Rose feigning sleepiness to avoid Jed, even adds an unintentional layer of humor to the otherwise serious themes. Jed's changing facial hair, from clean cut to full-blown beard, also visually charts his descent and eventual return. The encouraging heart of the song lies in its message of redemption. Despite Jed's failings, the film highlights second chances and forgiveness. The Christian worldview, woven with quotes from Ecclesiastes and the Song of Solomon, offers strength and guidance for viewers facing trials. Jed's return to faith and family reminds us that even after stumbling, redemption is possible. This journey, though painful, ultimately offers hope and restoration, symbolized by Jed rebuilding a chapel, mirroring the rebuilding of his own life. So there you have it, films designed to remind you of God's incredible power and love, especially when you're feeling down. Tell us, what's the one message or scene from these films that's really sticking with you? Maybe it's a call to prayer, a testament to courage, or the beauty of forgiveness. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments and share it with us. And if you want more content that fuels your faith and lifts your heart, make sure you subscribe. You will be notified when we release our next Christian movie reviews.